Welcome to the AI for e-commerce sellers webinar. And like that first slide says, the AI apocalypse has begun on Amazon. AI is rapidly changing the game on Amazon. And if you're not adapting to it, you're going to be left behind. In today's webinar, there's a few things. First of all, we haven't done this in a long time, but there's going to be a replay. Also, there's going to be a brief introduction. We're just going to talk a bit about a few events that are coming up, just to set the stage. And setting the stage, Kevin's going to take the state of AI in e-commerce, and he's going to spend a few minutes just going over all of that. It's fascinating. And then we're going to have 8 incredible speakers. And there was one thing we asked each one of these speakers, that they just brought not their A game, but a wow factor. Also, I wanted to mention that on July the 20th, we're going to be having a full e-com workshop. So we'll talk more about that a bit later on. Now, you can expect about 90 minutes, and don't leave until the end. We've got something very special for you right at the end. So this is one of my favorite topics. This is the Marketing Misfits podcast. If you don't know, Kevin and I started this just over a year ago, and things are going really well. What we try to do is we bring in people, marketers, entrepreneurs, people who think outside of the box to become successful, and we publish our episodes every Tuesday. Now, Kevin's on the next slide. Thank you, Kevin. And like I mentioned, we'll hear some great stories. There'll be some great banter, and you can find us on any main podcast platform, TikTok, and we've got 2 YouTube channels. The long form one is Marketing Misfits Podcast. Short form, 3 minutes and under, is Marketing Misfits Clips. Now, Kev, I think you have a video that you want to run from just a recent podcast we did.
Yeah, just a little short little thing. Yeah. This podcast has not come out yet, but just to give you a taste, this is not an Amazon podcast. This is more marketing. We do cover some Amazon stuff, but just to give you an idea of what's coming up. Hopefully you can hear the sound. I'm gonna hold the mic to the speaker.
People don't yet understand how LLMs are going to be delivering content. It's going to be more granular and more contextualized and more personalized than any other content delivery mechanism humanity has ever known, including person to person.
That's crazy.
Which is actually really exciting for small businesses and small marketers. The larger the organization gets, the harder it's going to be for them to play the AEO game, because it's not a game of scale. It's a game of expertise and granularity. I got to see more ad spend than most humans ever will or even know exists. And when you're spending money on other people's behalf, gosh, do you learn some lessons, man. It led me to the realization and the thesis that if you own the traffic, you own the business.
So that's coming up in a future.
All right, Kev, can you turn the slides back on? There we go. Yeah, like you were saying, that's something that's coming up. And that episode, by the way, is crazy. Just like I said, this guy blew both Kevin and I away. So that should be coming out very soon. But all of them are like that. Now, the last thing for event-wise, for me anyway, we have something called the Collective Mind Society event. And we do this every year. And this year is going to be in the cigar capital of the world, Tampa, Florida, during November 6th to the 10th. This event is for entrepreneurs, online sellers who just want to enjoy each other's company, sit around a bunch of like-minded people, share some stories, and a bunch of cigars. So if you're interested in this, go to Collective Minds Society, that's minds with an S.com, and apply to attend. And by the way, guys, we launched this a few days ago and we're 50% already sold out. So if you'd like it, go there and you just need to apply to attend.
All right. Thanks, Norm. So if you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, I have a new directory, a search database of all of my content. So every podcast I've ever been on, which is like 100 and something, every podcast I've done for like AMPM podcasts, all the podcasts that Norm and I do, other people's podcasts are on there, all the newsletters, some of my LinkedIn and Facebook posts, and you can search this. So if you're looking for a specific topic, you can just go into the search bar and type it, and it'll show you all the content and then link out to it. So you can watch the video or read the newsletter or whatever it may be. So that's at billiondollarsellers.media. It's totally free. You just can go there and use it at any time. It's automatically updated every single day with the latest content. There's an LLM version of this coming that I'll be talking about next week. I'm not talking about now, where you can actually chat with all this content, including the old BDSS content from all the last BDSSs, including a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So if you haven't checked this out, I encourage you to go to billiondollarsellers.media or scan that QR code. And just a quick reminder, I'll be talking about this more. We're not talking about it really here, but the BDSS virtual event is going to happen on August 19th to 21st. A couple of the speakers here, like Joe and Andrew, for example, are going to be speaking at that. More details will be coming, but just mark your calendars for August 19th to 21st. There is a way that you can actually get a huge discount on that, 50 to 70% off the virtual event. That's going to be coming when I announce something next week called the BDSC, the Billion Dollar Sellers Club. This is a really, really cool, kick-ass thing that's going to be announced next week, and just stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get into the content. The first thing I want to do is give you a state of what's happening right now in AI commerce before we bring on our 8 speakers. Just to give you an idea, I know some of you are very versed in this. I read about 30 newsletters a day in AI. As you know, I do the Billion Dollar Sellers newsletter, and I cover a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff has been in the newsletter, but I know not everybody can read every newsletter, or you miss stuff. So I'm just going to go and just plant a seed for you of what's happening right now. Now, what I'm about to show you is what is coming. And the way I envision this right now, this is not what's right now. So on Amazon right now, you still need to do a lot of the old keyword stuff, with Helium 10 or with whatever tool that you may be using. You still need to do some of the old way, but you got to kind of ride the line of the old way and the new way. And the new way is small right now, but I'm about to show you why this is going to crush it. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be left in the dust. You're going to become invisible. I'm 1000% convinced. I'm in an AEO mastermind, and the stuff that they're talking about, what's happening, is over. It's just incredibly mind-boggling. It's going to change everything. And so what I want to show you is some of that right now, just to plant the seed. And I liken this to like Amazon 2014. So some of you are old school, that you were selling on Amazon FBA in 2014. It was so easy. It was just put up your page, get a few reviews, and you were off to the races. And those people built moats because they were first to do vitamin C serum or whatever in 2014. They built up 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 reviews or more. And then when the aggregators came, they sold for millions. They were right place, right time. You guys are right place, right time to get in on the ground floor and ride this freaking wave that's about to happen. And that's what you're going to see some tactics today from the speakers, but this is what's happening. It's growing so fast. And the old rule that technology doubles every 18 months is out the window. It's doubling every 7 months right now, and it's accelerating. Predictions that were made in 2023, what's going to happen in 2025, came true last year. It's moving at a rapidly pace. It's almost mind-boggling, and it's hard to keep up with. What a lot of people are saying is that this could be the end of Amazon and Walmart and Best Buy in their current state. Those sites are not going away. Don't get me wrong. They're not going away. They're not going out of business. They have the fulfillment networks. They have the backside. But people going to Walmart.com or to Amazon.com and actually doing searches is going to become less and less and less and less and less. And there's a lot of studies. This is a guy at Cornell University. This is not some guy that's just, he's going to be on the Marketing Misfits podcast actually this fall. Zero-click searches are huge right now, where people use AI overviews on Google. They're not even clicking down to see the 10 links that came back. You see some of that happening on Amazon now with some of the Rufus and some of the other stuff that's happened. This is where it's going. And so your PDP and your images and how you build the listings is going to radically change what you've got to do. Just 2 days ago, I think it was, Perplexity came out with their browser called Comet. They just released it. You got to get on a wait list to get it. This is an agentic browser. This is the next. They're saying it's a Chrome killer. It's not going to be a Chrome killer. Chrome will end up doing the same thing. But it's game changing what you can do in this browser. I've seen demos of it, and it's like mind boggling what you can do. You can do all your search right there in the browser for products. You don't need to go to Amazon or Walmart. It'll do everything across the entire internet and find obscure stuff, and then you can buy it right there. This is where we're going, and I encourage you to go sign up at Comet. Just type in Comet. I think it's Comet.ai or Comet. Just do Comet AI browser, and you can get on the wait list and just play with this so you actually can understand what it's doing. It's amazing stuff. Just on Prime Day, which is happening right now, Adobe, who has massive data, like billions of data points, they're saying that they're going to see a 3,300% increase in generate AI traffic on Amazon Prime Day, and I believe that's true. It's still small. Don't get me wrong. It's not like taking over, but it's growing so fast. It's going to take over. The economy right now is so off the rails that people are trying to figure out, okay, how do we talk to humans and how do we talk to agents? You're going to have to know how to talk to both humans that may be doing it the old way and agents that are doing it on behalf of humans. And so you got to know how to do both, and it's going to become more and more towards the agent side of things. Here's the killer. On AI generated search to e-commerce to buy, the conversion rate is through the roof. 4.2% on this little test that the guy on the left hand, Wally Jolly, did at Ad Quadrant. 4.2% conversion rate. On the right hand side, you see the guys from Cornell did a study, and they said it's 9 times higher. So the traffic is way smaller, but the conversion rate is way higher. Now take a look at this, at this one. This is from Ahrefs, a big SEO company. They said traditional search for Ahrefs, what's going on? AI is generating 0.5% of their visitors right now. Very small amount. So this is not like, it's not taking over, but it's driving 12.1% of their signups. So that means 99.5% of their traffic is not driving the same percentage. I mean, this small little percentage of 0.5 is driving 12.1% of the signups. That's what's going to be happening in e-commerce too. As these agentic browsers like Perplexity and Chrome's going to have it, and all these come out, you're going to see it. Conversion rates go through the roof, and you need to be there first, because if you're not there first, you're going to be invisible and you're not getting advantages of some of what's happening. There's a massive disruption right now in SEO. SEO is not dead. You know, the old way of doing backlinks and putting out blog posts and all this, it still works, but it's becoming less and less and less important. And AEO, or some people call it GEO, or some people call it AIO. There's no consensus on what the term is, but it's basically answer engine optimization, because the GPTs are answer engines. Rufus is an answer engine. And how do you optimize for those is going to become critical. And that's from text to images to schema to everything else. AI right now, and this is big, and this is why I've been harping on this in my newsletter. People are like, where are all the AI Amazon hacks? I still have those in there, but I'm not talking about, look, you got to start doing off Amazon stuff, because where are they getting their information? Reddit is number one. If you don't have a Reddit forum for your product or your brand or your category, you need to get on Reddit. I was just in the AEO call right before this, and they said, everybody in this call, all these experts, you need to be playing in Reddit. Reddit is a major source for the AI engines of credibility. YouTube, if you're not doing YouTube videos, either for yourself as a brand or as a person, or for your brand or for your niche, if you're not doing dog videos, if you're selling dog products, you're going to be missing out. You need to do this. Quora is big. Social media comments are huge. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook comments are huge. They pay more attention to this than they do to the brand websites, to your blog posts, to anything. These are major, and each one has a little bit different what they focus on. It's huge. In the Marketing Misfits, we have 5 podcasts coming up in the next 2 months on the Marketing Misfits, all about a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff is not totally out there yet, but Norm and I we're on the cutting edge of it. So we see where it's going, and it's eye-opening. You even take a look at Destiny, who's one of the top PPC people in our space. Dream 100 member, super smart lady. She says the shelf is dead. The demand is the new battlefield. She basically says the same thing. You got to create this demand outside of Amazon, because it's going to disappear on the traditional keyword search is going to be disappearing. There's a story in today's newsletter, $1 Billion Sellers newsletter, about this, and you can watch a video where she talks all about it. You've got to optimize for intent-based search on these AI engines, and not just keywords anymore. It's AI, it's intent-based search, it's semantics, and semantics is becoming more and more necessary on Amazon. You still the old keyword ways, using Helium 10, Data Dive, and those stuff that still works. But it's changing, and there's going to be a switch flipped at some point, 3 months from now, 2 years from now, I don't know when, that it's going to change everything. Google already did it with AI overviews. They're cutting down some of their advertising. They're taking a hit. Their stock will probably go down. But as you'll see in one of our guests in the Marketing Misfits, he talks about, I would buy Google on the down because it's going to go so far up, and he explains why. And this is what's happening. 2025, back at the beginning of the year, it was said Axios said this is the year of AI agents, and it is. But don't confuse AI agents with total AI. AI agents, a lot of them are just automations right now. So they're automations with like N8N or Make.com or something, and there is a little bit of AI, but the AI has to do the interpretation. So some of it's just automations, which is cool, but the agents are going to take a big leap soon where they're actually doing the automation and then they're doing that analysis and then more automation and then more analysis and then more automation and then more analysis. If you don't think this is serious, take a look. MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal are all in on agentic commerce. It took them a long time to come around to NFTs or to crypto. They're already in. They're like, this is the future. We got it. We're building this so that your little robot on your browser can actually buy stuff for you, and we got all the security stuff in place. They're already on it. They believe in this so big. This is a wake-up call. Agentic transformation is happening now. This is not 2 years from now. It's happening now. It's small, but it's growing rapidly. It's a mega trend. There's even a newsletter that talks all about agentic commerce from one of the top minds in the retail and e-commerce space. It's really, really, really good. You're going to see sellers starting to use agents to run their whole business, where they have a Helium 10 agent, they got a sourcing agent, they got a PPC agent, they got all these different agents. It's going to be huge. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to be one of these guys doing $5 million right now on Amazon that's going to be doing 500,000 a couple years from now. I strongly, strongly believe that. We'll save this replay, and 2 years from now, we'll come back and see if I was full of it or if I was correct. Maybe it's not even 2 years. Maybe it's less. I don't know. There's a huge disruption in e-commerce search. Look at these Jason Retail Geek Goldberg. If you don't follow him, I recommend you follow him as an e-commerce seller. These guys are brilliant. They have a podcast. They have a newsletter. Brilliant, brilliant guy. Take a look at these agents where they're at now, the shopping agents with Perplexity, and Amazon has Buy for Me, where it goes out and buy stuff for you that's not on the Amazon site. Most people haven't played with it. They don't know. It's just, this stuff is like under the radar, but it's moving fast. You have ChatGPT doing their shopping stuff, the Copilot with Microsoft, and so on. They're all getting into this, and they're gonna rule it. They're gonna rule this roost. Agentic commerce is not fully agentic yet. Agentic means that it runs by itself without a human. You still have to have a human in the loop for most of this, but you can eliminate a lot of positions. You're going to see people that agencies aren't going to need 20 employees anymore. They're going to be able to do it with two smart people overseeing it and babysitting everything. It's time to take this seriously. It's super, super important. Who's leading the pack? This is on the left. You can see the levels of autonomy before this becomes where you don't have to have that human in the loop. We're not at level 5 yet, the orange one. We're not at full autonomy, but the Comet browser, the Perplexity browser, is at 4. We're damn close. We're damn close. And these other guys are playing catch up, and you can bank it that in the next few weeks, they'll be announcing other things that they're working on. On the right, you can see all the shopping agent participants. You're going to get these slides. So if you're not, I know I'm going quick, so you can go back and review these. But this is where they're at right now. It's coming. It's coming big. ChatGPT, as most of you know, you can do your shopping on ChatGPT. This is from Ritu's newsletter on the left-hand side. How does ChatGPT rank your products? Well, a lot of it's what I just said. It's the social signals. It's the Wikipedias for some of them. It's the Reddits for others. It's the YouTube for others. They're all different right now, but there's some important things like schema that you have to have, and this schema has to be hard-coded. It can't be JSON or JavaScript. There's certain rules that has to be on your web page and actually rank, and certain things you got to do. And then there's also this llms.txt. This is a file that you put in the root of your web server. You can't do this on Amazon, but you can do this on all your landing pages. You can do this on all your Shopify. You can do this on all your blogs. That will actually get it ranked, and it reads it. It needs structured data. And you can go to billiondollarsellers.media, the one I showed you earlier, and just type in LLMS, and it'll show you the article, and you can read how to do this step by step by step, or get your developer guide to do it. You need to do this now. And there's certain ways that you got to set it up and stuff. Even Walmart, you have Amazon has Rufus, Walmart has Sparky. But Walmart says, okay, we got Sparky, but that's for the customers. And that's the AI for the customers. But what about for the agents? Walmart is preparing for its newest customer, and they call it the AI agents. They're saying like, okay, we got the customer as a bot called Sparky, and then we need another one that's going to be talking to these agents and making sure that they buy something from us. They already are on top of this. This is coming. Alexa speech is going to be major, and if you don't have the right semantics and the right stuff in your listings for speech, the younger generation now doesn't type. They just talk into their phone. And everything is speech-based. With Alexa and with all these other tools, even Amazon is testing right now AI-powered audio ASIN summaries, where people don't even have to listen to it; they just talk to it. That's big too, and that's AI, and that's a lot of agentic stuff. Another one is PPC. Things are going to be changing radically. You take a look at like what Zuck just did announced at Facebook on the right hand side. He said that by next year, you're not going to be able to run Facebook ads on your own anymore. We're going to do it for you. You're going to say, here's my product, here's my budget, go for it. And they're going to do everything. You're not going to do any targeting. TikTok Shop just did something similar. They said no more Spark ads. We're going in soon. We're going to strictly GMB max. Everything, we're going to do it for you. You tell us your budget and what you got. We know more than you, and they do. And I think Amazon's going to be next. Your days of doing manual bidding of exact match and modified and all this, I think are limited. I don't know when it's going to happen. It could be a month from now. It could be 2 years from now. It's going to happen where you're not going to be able to control that anymore. So you got to control it from another side and on your listing side and from everything else that you have in your control. You have Rufus right now, and Juana is one of the experts. She's on this call, and she's going to be sharing some stuff. She's an expert, and she wrote the original paper on this, and she's an expert at what you got to do to talk to Rufus. And Rufus, we'll see what the numbers are on Prime Day, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty big on its impact on what it had. She worked with Andrew Bell and with Danny on this, and it's really, really good stuff if you haven't read that. You have how to optimize. This is a prediction that was made in last year in November. I think this prediction is outdated now. It said that chatbots can contribute 1/3 of the organic traffic within 3 years. I think it's going to be way less than that. I think that's old data, and like I said, it's moving so fast. They got to revise these things all the time. So there's things that you got to do that are super, super important right now. You even have user-generated content like this that's just crushing it. This was a video in China. $7.6 million in 7 hours. These are AI avatars. These people aren't real on the left-hand side. They sold $7.6 million in China with AI avatars. This is where it's going. It's crazy what's going on. If you're not paying attention to this, it's game over for you. It literally is. I'm not trying to scare people, but it's the truth. It's not right now that it's game over, but it's going to be very soon. So pay attention and get versed in this. You don't have to be an expert. You just need to be one step ahead. Because what's happening right now is the equivalent to when the caveman discovered fire. It changed their life. They can now cook meat and they can eat and they can have fire at night and have warmth. This is how radical a change this AI is about to be with agentic and everything that's happening. It's big. It's huge. This is not the next NFT or 3D bit TVs in your house or whatever that was just a fad. This is real. If you don't pay attention, you're just going to be another one that bites the dust. That's the name. What's the name of this webinar? 1 in 3 are going to be gone. 2 and 3 are going to be gone. I truly believe that because most people aren't paying attention. So there is a way to future-proof yourself, and that's by showing up at webinars like this and learning some of what we're about to teach you from these experts. Or you can also, Norm and I have something called Dragonfish that will be doing a lot of this stuff. We're on the cutting edge, and we know the top people in the space. If you're interested in getting on the wait list for that, to get some help, and you're like, this all sounds cool, Kevin, but I don't want to screw with this. I don't have time to keep up with this stuff. Go to scan that QR code or go to amzmarketer.com/DF for Dragonfish, capital D, capital F, and you can get on the wait list, and we'll notify you when we have spots that open up, but we're going to be helping people do this. But right now, I want to get game on for a lot of you guys. So I want to know, are you ready? Are you ready to master AI right now? If you're ready to master AI right now, I'm going to turn this over to Norm. He's going to start introducing some of our guests. They're going to be showing you, each one's got about 5 minutes, and they're going to show you some cool stuff of what you can do right now to help you stay ahead of your competition when it comes to AI in e-commerce. So Norm, I'm going to turn this bad boy over to you.
All right. I was just wondering if that person dancing, I didn't recognize him. Was that you in the college days?
Yeah, that was me in the college days. Yeah.
All right.
You could tell, Yeah, I lived in China back then,
Ah, okay. All right. So let's get into it. So like I said earlier, we have 8 awesome presenters today. The one thing I can tell you about this is that if your intentions are great, that means nothing. You've got to put this into action. So everything that our presenters are going to be providing today are actionable AI content. These are the steps that you can take and implement them immediately if you'd like. So also, they're going to give you a sneak preview about what's coming up on July the 20th. That's the workshop session. It's going to be a day long. But first, I want to introduce a person that I hope I can pronounce her name right, but Joanna Lambadiva. I was ready to say Joanne Lamb or Joe Lamb as I know her, but Joe, welcome.
Hi, Noor. Thank you for having me. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hello. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, you guys need to let me.
Uh-oh, it's not letting you? Okay.
Let's see. How about now?
Yep. There we go. Yeah, if you can go into presenter mode. There you go.
All
Perfect.
right.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so Kevin introduced the scene. He scared the shit out of you. I'm not here to scare the shit out of you, just to like provide you with some nice little teasers for the 20th and also to give you one practical thing that you can actually implement today. So, anyway, as Kevin nicely summarized it, the bots are coming over. You're screwed if you're not using AI, so pay attention. All right. So, first of all, who am I? I'm the woman with the impossibly long surname that nobody can pronounce. Come on, guys, you can try a little harder. I'm watching you, Norm. So anyway, I've been in the e-commerce space for about 12, 13 years now. I bang on about AI on the daily. I basically post on every day practical tips. You can check out my LinkedIn. I have currently 43,000 followers who get a lot of goodies. And I also post the AI for e-commerce newsletter, which has more than 40,000 subscribers to date. So scan this QR code if you want to subscribe. But anyway, so I speak about, I think about, I breathe about AI a lot, a lot, a lot. And on the 20th, I have provided quite the program of goodies for anyone who signs up. Today I'm going to talk about what is the right context for Rufus because I think this is very pertinent. But on the 20th, some of the things I'm going to show is the Q&A Rufus strategy that no one else is doing yet, how to get AI search engines to recommend your product, how to leverage Reddit and Pinterest to create mind-blowing product images, which, you know, Kevin was talking about Reddit. I'm going to talk about Reddit a lot on the 20th, and also one super secret bonus that I have not shared anywhere. So it's definitely a worthwhile session to check out. So anyway, let's talk about Rufus. We've talked about Rufus a lot. I'm sure you're going to talk about today a lot more about it, but we know it's important. And we know that also the context is the name of the game when it comes to optimizing for Rufus. But Joe, how do we know what to include, given that my product has about 1,000 different use cases and contextual context that we can include in my listing? All right, here is a perfect product to exemplify this. Coconut oil. Coconut oil has like a gazillion possible use cases. You can use it to make your hair nice. You can use it to cook. You can use it for popcorn. You can use it for your skin. So many different ways to use coconut oil and so little space to include all of this. You have only 5 bullet points and you want to make sure that you've included the most important use cases in your listing. All right. So here is basically this particular product that I've shown here, this coconut oil. Here is what they think from their listing are the most important use cases. So they think this is based off their frequency of mentions of particular use case. So they think that majority of people buy their coconut oil for cooking. The next biggest use case is around hair care. The third one is around skin moisturizer. And then they have things like oral health, massage oil, etc., etc. Now, this is a fair assumption, but I want to show you how to actually figure out if this is the right assumption using AI and data. All right, so how do we know that? Well, one thing is obviously we can guess, which is a fine enough option, but we live in the age of AI and that is not a fine option anymore. So the second option is to mine that data. My way to mine that data is obviously using customer reviews, which is obviously a good old tired technique, but it's a very, very trusted technique, especially when you pair it with a wonderful chatbot like Claude. Now, Claude is my preferred chatbot when it comes to anything to do with basically text-based data. Claude is really great at extracting insight from text-based data. So here I've basically popped out my positive reviews for my product. I've asked it to first analyze this data, and next I give it this prompt. So this prompt is designed to like extract these benefits. And yeah, okay, you can be like, yeah, this is no groundbreaking. I know that I can extract my reviews. But the really interesting thing about this prompt is the fine bit around it counting the frequency of mentions of a particular benefit. This is the game changer. Now, you see, there is a lot of sexy, really complicated things you can do with AI, but sometimes it's just about finding that like really small detail about a prompt or extracting something from data that can give you the real edge. And so this prompt will essentially give you a cascading order of the most important benefits or the most frequently mentioned benefits and use cases from the reviews that customers are buying your product for. At this point, Norm is thinking, my God, this prompt itself is worth signing up for the full 20th of July workshop. And I agree with you, Norm. It absolutely is. And I have 5 more. So anyway, here is just a little preview of how this looks like in terms of in terms of the output. So you can see it's given me exactly the count of mentions and it's given me exactly what each benefit is showing. So now let's actually sense check that initial coconut oil listing and see if they were right. Well, actually, they were wrong. So on the orange side is what actually customers use the product for. And you can see that the seller is massively over-indexing the cooking. People don't really buy this product for cooking. They buy it mostly for hair care, for moisturizing. And what is interesting is there is all of these other elements or all of these other use cases that were never mentioned in the original listing, such as pet care. A lot of people buy this coconut oil for actually helping their the fur of their animal. Then they use it for eczema treatment, they use it as a dietary supplement, which I didn't know that you can, natural alternative, etc., etc., etc. What really surprised me about this data is that there's 22 more use cases that were never mentioned in the listing that you can extract with using that prompt and reviews and inject them into your listing. And this is exactly where the magic happens when it comes to Rufus, is to actually inject all of this real customer data in your product description, in your bullets, just by reading the data. And so Norm again is thinking, this was only 14 slides out of 104. Imagine what I will learn in 90 more slides. And Kevin will say, you're practically earning dollars while watching, Norm. So that is technically Amazon math. On that note, I am going to stop sharing and I'm going to leave it to the other people.
What's Norm thinking now?
Norm is thinking, my God, this was great.
It was. No, thank you so much, Joe. That's fantastic. And I can't wait to see you on the 20th.
Same. Thanks.
Okay, our next speaker. I hope she's ready. Juana, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, and you told me I shouldn't because everybody gets it wrong. But Juana, welcome. And do you have a presentation?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. And Norm, you're right. Just like I tell everybody, don't try to pronounce my name. Nobody does in the industry. And thank God I'm the only one for now. So you can get away with that. Let me know if you can see my screen. It's working.
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm happy to be back, Kevin and Norm, but today I am a bit nervous and I will tell you why. Because I will share with you a system that I've kept close to my chest until now. It's a data-driven way that I use when it comes to optimizing listings based on real numbers. Just like any other seller out there, when it comes to growing your sales and boosting your conversion rate, I face the same product as everybody else. Because you make changes, you make tweaks to your listings, and most of the times it feels like you're just throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping that this time something will actually move the needle on your Amazon sales. Well, I have a good news for you because there is a data-driven way to do that. So no more guessing game anymore. And the secret that I'm going to share with you today is something that I personally use and my team is utilizing. It's the way to figure out which product feature actually matters, not just to the Amazon algorithm, but to the real people putting money in your pocket. My secret sauce, well, not so secret as of today, is the rice-based scoring system that pulls insights from the three customers' personas that I always build whenever I would need to optimize a listing. And I build them utilizing reviews, the brand analytics data, and of course, Rufus information, as you would probably already guess. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you on the workshop, because Amazon gives us data and I'll show you how to utilize that. And if you're wondering, like, what the hell is rice? I guarantee you it's not something that you eat with chopsticks. Now, on the July 20th workshop, I'll walk you through a real example for a product from the home and kitchen category. As many of you might already know, my brand lives there, and we are going to pick a random product already picked, so we will look at it together from that space to break things down. Most of the time, feature decision comes from scatter sources, just like every seller out there knows. You watch maybe a YouTube video from a guru, or you analyze your competitors' listings, or you go and dig into, a specific aggressive customer review and pull information out of there. And I guess that sounds familiar to many of you, because we've all been there. Let's face it. We are chasing shiny optimization ideas and hacks and wasting months on changes that maybe don't even deliver. Well, I have a better way in doing that, and it's a method to figure out which feature actually pushes people to click on the buy now button. And that is, of course, my recipe for clarity, the RICE framework. Not so secret weapon anymore, I might say that, but it is the tool that I use to cut through the chaos and the noise and decide which feature is worth pushing on the listing. RICE stands from reach, impact, confidence, and effort. The four simple but effective criteria to score every product feature with actual data and not your gut feeling or your opinions. Think of it as a feature scorecard that turns, wild guesses into smart decisions. When we look at reach, we want to understand how many customers will this affect. Impact is how big the win is. Confidence, how sure are we of this? And the effort, of course, what will it take? And the formula for RICE is, there you go. That's the formula that we will use. And once that we build our customers' personas, we will weight in every feature for the product utilizing this specific formula. Because numbers, of course, are great, but behind every data point, there is a real person. That's why I layered the customer personas to keep our decisions grounded. And in the example that we will go through together as step by step, as mentioned, we have three customer personas. Just to give you a peek at them, we have Helena. It's the sourdough specialist. She's 55% of my shoppers. She's the serious baker. She's obsessed with quality and wants pro-level results. Then we have Mark. He's the practical problem solver. He's about 30% of my shoppers and values convenience, hates waste, and of course wants tools that just work. Last is Susan. She's the thoughtful gifter, and she's only 15% because she doesn't buy the product for herself. She's buying for somebody else and cares about the presentation and the impact. So when we overlay these personas with the RICE scores, we stop guessing and we start showcasing features that people actually care and want. So we calculate and weight every feature with a simple prompt, of course, utilizing any AI out there. So we understand the scores for every of your product feature by the formula that we saw in the previous slide. Now, we know that the game has changed, and Kevin was really clear in the beginning with that, because Amazon isn't guessing what customers want anymore. And we have advanced techniques, we know that. So why would you continue to optimize your listings the same old way? On the 20th of July, I'm going to give you all the information around how I optimize the listings. There's no hacks, no fluff, just a way to cut through the noise. We will see how to extract high impact features from your data stack, why Rufus isn't just a hype, and how to connect these features to real buyers' demand. And of course, rank them utilizing the RISE instead of your gut feeling. And that's it. I hope to see you all there because it's definitely going to be excited to finally understand what to emphasize more in your listing, either on images, in text, in product packaging. Yeah, so I'll be more than happy to share that.
All right, that was fantastic. Okay, Juana, now it's time for our next speaker. And you'll want to listen close to this presenter. If you're serious about staying competitive, our next speaker is going to have some really cool insights. And I'm talking about Abdullah Amran. Hello, Abdullah.
Hey Norm, how are you doing?
Good, good. So I'll let you take it away from here.
Yeah. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, got it. So let's dive into AI automations for Amazon sellers. As Norm and Kevin said, that only 1 in 3 sellers will survive, and you don't let your competition outsmart you with AI. So this is what we are going to be talking about. So AI automations for Amazon sellers are very important in automating manual workflows and manual tasks that you are doing manually with Amazon PPC, creatives, reviews, and market analysis. So I'll be speaking in detail over the automations on 20 July. And I'm just going to walk through the automations that I will be talking about. So let's dive in. As you know, AI is changing how we build, scale, and operate e-commerce brands. And you have no-code platforms like N8N that are pretty useful in building automations for almost every domain in e-commerce. I mean, there are a lot of AI agents and AI automations now in e-commerce that e-commerce sellers are leveraging. That we'll be just talking about Amazon-related AI agents. We'll be going deep into the AI agents are and how AI automations work and how you can leverage them for your Amazon business. So just imagine, what if AI could automatically analyze your top Amazon reviews, audit your PPC campaigns before wasting your budget, generate ad-ready lifestyle images, and replace your manual seller task with automations. So this is going to be very interesting. So first, we will talk about Amazon Review Analyzer Bot. So this will be built on N8N tool. So if you are not a programmer, you can still use N8N no-code tools, make.com and string.com to build some automations. You don't need to code yourself. These platforms are already coded. You just need to learn some technical integrations. First agent that we will be talking on 20 July is Amazon Review Analyzer Bot. So if you're bringing thousands of analyzing reviews, you can't extract insights faster enough. So you just drop an ASIN and get all of the review analysis, objections, and pain points for your listing creatives and copy. So the tool stack we will be using for them is we will use Scrapper to scrap Amazon reviews. We'll be using GPT-4 AI agent that will be analyzing reviews, and it will be pasting the reviews in Google Sheets as analysis, and all the workflow will be built on N8N tool. We will be walking through the live execution as well, like how to build the workflow, how it works, and what steps are involved in making such a workflow. So next agent we have is campaign optimization agent. So this will be the agent that will analyze your wasted ad spend and poor match type from your search term report. You have to just run search term report through the GPT, and it will automatically find irrelevant keywords and suggest to you the changes. So the tools report that will be in Google Sheets, we'll do some changes in the sheet in the columns, and after the GPT-4 AI agent will be picking the search report, the data will be divided into chunks, and it will be again copied into Google Sheets with the working that AI will do in auditing your search report. This is also the workflow we'll be building on Anyden. We will do some other integrations that we'll be doing. So the next we have here is AI-powered Creative Studio that Amazon recently launched. As you know that designers now are slow, believes unclear, or too expensive for creatives manually. So now in the era of AI, you just need to generate image briefs using GPT based on reviews, and you can now generate catchy lifestyles using Amazon AI Creative Studio. I'm not sure if you guys have used it, but it's recently launched by Amazon beta version, and it's improving day by day, and it's very helpful in creating product lifestyle shots and infographic concepts. And you can also use AI agents here to automate your creatives and create high quality lifestyle images. So next we have the feature of AI in Amazon operations. So as you know, the sellers who will be still using manual workflows will be far behind from the sellers. 2 of the 3 sellers will not survive in the next era who will not be adapting AI, as AI agents are replacing repetitive tasks that your employees or team is going to do. So the same work will be done through the AI agents. Automations are your new operations team, and the brands that are already doing AI agents and these adaptations are winning on Prime Day 2025. So in the webinar, we will be walking through live of every automation that I talked about, and you can see how AI can transform your business and how you can generate AI-powered creatives using AI agents. So that's from now.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Now coming up, Kevin and I were at an AI bot summit, and we met this guy and we went out and had a cigar. And after we stopped talking about AI, SEO, AEO, we're walking away and Kevin goes, "Is this guy real?" And I said, "Absolutely. You might want to stay in touch with him." So I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Dan Kurtz.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Norm.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. All right. Well, I will jump right into it, and we're just going to go and blow right through this. So first thing I want to talk about, because the live presentation is going to be on the 20th, and this is an update that's happening 5 days from now. If you are doing YouTube faceless, if you read right here, they're updating monetization policies, looking for original and authentic content. Now, again, Google is very, very wide when they put out updates. So what that means, we'll find out on the 15th. They're looking for mass produced and repetitive content, meaning if you are making AI slop or you're making AI videos that are just junk in order to garner views and impression share and all that sort of stuff to drive your business, that's probably going to come to an end here in the next 5 days. So if anybody's doing that, you may want to change your tack. I know there's a bunch of agencies out there that do faceless videos for folks and they put them up and just kind of hit the nail on the head with it. It looks like that will be coming to an end. We'll know better, obviously, on the 15th when everybody starts crying on Reddit about why they're not making revenue off their YouTube channels anymore, why their shorts are being banned. We'll see how that goes. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to jump right into the stuff that we're going to cover on the webinar. I'm going to give you guys 1 or 2 things you can walk away with today. The rest of the big heavy hitter stuff I'm going to cover on the actual webinar. So if you want to see stuff that goes above and beyond what I'm going to show here, we're going to go through that as well. So one of the things I want to talk about, obviously, Kevin brought it up. SEO is changing, AI is changing that very rapidly. And a lot of people are panicking about, what do I do? How do I do my website? Or maybe you don't have a website, but you want to get into the AI game. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. One of the ways I'm going to show you is a prompt chain that I put together. I'm going to show you the output and I'm going to share the document with you guys. Somebody had mentioned earlier about dog treats or dog training or something. So I went ahead and ran a quick quick batch while we were waiting. So I went ahead, ran through my prompt system really quick. It's just 8 easy prompts. You just copy paste, put in what your business does. And what it'll do is tell you exactly where the AI is expecting it to be. And then, again, this is coming out of an LLM, so this is where they're looking for it. So for dog treats, primary channels, here's where they're expecting it. Secondary channels, here's where they're expecting it from a promotion standpoint. If you're trying to answer a primary question, again, we're doing dog treats, blah, 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 blah. Here's some information about the core values of the pet owner, kind of getting into the profile of who they are. And then question coverages, health and safety concerns, appeal, values and lifestyle, convenience and practical factors, emotional and relationship. And you can see all the different questions that they're looking for. Second prompt will go ahead and fire off those questions, best place to communicate that, and the secondary place to communicate it, meaning this is the primary source that the AI is going to look for it. This is the next best place to put it. So here's all the questions. Here's where they're going to go. Again, broken down by category. Here's where you should put them. That way they're best fed to the LLMs. Then we move on to prompt 3, looking for signals detection. So what are people looking for when they're searching for dog treats? Here's what they're scanning, where they're looking, signals, red flags, competency, reliability, transparency. And this can be done for any product or service. It doesn't have to be dog treats, obviously. Social proof, safety signals about it. Then I have it where it's going out and actually designing a homepage based around those questions. Because if we can knock that all out in one shot, that's the best. So it's actually mapping out textually what the website should look like, what kind of branding it came up with, doing all of that stuff. And then I have it actually spit out the prototype. Again, this is all with Claude. Claude is relatively easy to do all this stuff, but here is what the website should look like. Then I have it do another pass. I tell it to go ahead and optimize it even better. It goes through all that. Then I have it do a second run of that same one. So it comes back out, refactors the entire website, does a couple changes to it, does the same thing one last time using some conversion stuff, some requirements for JavaScript and CSS and a few other things. And then the final page comes out looking like this. And then here's everything that we were talking about in those questions completely woven into the actual page. So 100% of the stuff on this page is optimized for the AI based off the questions they're looking to have answered. So it's taking everything from your market match, the LLM's understanding of it, and then giving you a website, or at least a template of a website that you can then put up with your information in it. So we're doing all that. Like I said, 6-7 prompts, it's done. If you have an Amazon product and you want to do it really quick, I'll give you an example. So Claude has this wonderful thing called artifacts. You can power your artifacts using Claude. If you haven't looked at this, it's over here in your Claude, hit enable. And then what you can do is plug in your product. You just go grab the ASIN URL. For this example, I went ahead, just grabbed a dog treat, pasted it into Claude, and I said, hey, build me a web page off of this. And it went ahead and did that. Obviously, it doesn't have the product image, but it put all the information, all the quantities, all that sort of stuff. This, when using Claude, will allow you to make this a rankable web page. So it'll be claude.ai / whatever the name of your Amazon product is. You can keyword optimize the title and stuff up here. Super easy thing to take home and go do. And again, you can do the same thing with Perplexity. If you've ever played with Perplexity, it's kind of similar to Claude. It's a research engine. One of the things that they hide in Perplexity is there's something called Perplexity Pages, which is a way that you can plug in a topic or a product, like I have here. Same thing, plugged in the Blue Buffalo Dog Bits training treats. And it went ahead and spit out a page with all the information and the sources. And I can change any of this stuff I want by prompting it at the bottom. I can say, hey, here's my URL that I want you to use that has my my referral link on it or whatever. And then I hit publish. And then that page can show up. Again, I'm doing a Google search for Perplexity pages. Here's all the pages. I mean, thousands and thousands of pages on different topics, but these all rank in Google for their associated keywords. So you can actually, even if you don't have a website, start ranking for that stuff right off the bat. And then one of the other things I'm going to show you guys how to do, just took a quick screenshot. I will show you how to get AI search directly embedded. You notice this is not a search bar, this is an ask bar. get an LLM embedded directly into your website so that if the bots come and ask or a human comes and asks, it saves that information into the database. And now your website is communicating with the AIs going forward. So we're going to cover all that and a bunch of other stuff on the way there. If you guys want to take a look at this, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this link here in the chat. Whoever does dog treats, you can go ahead and walk through that, or you guys can at least see the process of it. These are a couple of things I'm going to cover. I got about 5 or 6 more things we're going to do as well. Some stuff on LLMs, some stuff on embedding the AI, and a bunch of other things for SEO going forward. So if you want to have your brand be mentioned in all of the engines, I will show you exactly how to do that.
All right, Dan. Thank you. I can't wait. I can't wait for the 20th. This is just a portion. I know when you were over at the Elevation 360, like you just blew everybody's minds. One thing I should mention is the only way to get the information, this is for you, the only way that people can get the information during the workshop is live. There's not going to be any PDFs. There's not going to be any information out there because we don't want it shared. Is that correct?
Yeah. So everything's going to be shared. It'll be shared on that day. If you're not there for the live, I will not be opening it back up again. We did this last time we had a webinar. I said it was going to be up for the duration of the webinar for the entire day. And we had something like 150, 175 people come back and go, I couldn't be there. I decided I was going to get the recording. And I said, well, you missed out on the most valuable thing because I gave out all the tools for free.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for your input today.
Thanks.
Okay, now for our next guest. Well, when we were putting this together a couple of months ago, we were thinking about our guest list and who to bring on. And Kevin said he was wowed. He watched his webinar and our guest was on the webinar and he said, you wouldn't believe what this guy's doing. He says, I really love what he's doing. And so he says, all right, to put him on the podcast or on the webinar. I said, well, if you like him, I gotta love him. So we're gonna welcome Jay Margalot, and I hope I said that right, Jay. You can let me know if I did or not. So here's Jay.
Hey, my name is Jay Margaliot.
I got close.
Close, yeah. Close enough.
All right, Jay, thanks.
Okay, so I start Amazon in 2016, and lately I start being in love with AI for Amazon. So we don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna jump into it. Today we're gonna talk about how to create a product analysis with 2 AI prompts that I build, and I'm gonna share with you. Please scan the QR code. The first prompt gonna analyze your product deeply, like
Can you share
with
your
the
screen,
avatars.
Jay, can you share your screen? We just see you.
Oh. Can you see it now?
Yeah, perfect. All right. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so please scan the barcode. So it's only 2 copy-paste prompt and it's super easy to do what I'm gonna show you today. It's the first prompt gonna analyze your product deeply, all the reviews with the avatars and what the selling point. And the second prompt gonna take this insight into a presentation. So you can show your team, investor, or to yourself. Yeah, I just want to say that not working. Okay, so you can sell to someone you don't understand. I know a lot of Amazon sellers, and they know the product's really good, but the main problem, they don't know the customers, they don't know the buyers. And if you don't know what the buyer wants, you don't know how to sell it. So who are your real buyers? Who makes them buy, what makes them buy? Everything, it's inside your reviews, but if you have hundreds of reviews or thousands, it's impossible to read everything. So we're lucky we have AI, so it can do it for you. I'm gonna show you live how to do it. And whoever didn't get the QR code, I'm gonna show it again later. Okay, so I just pick a random product on Amazon. It's a bath towels. Yeah, so you can see the product. So what we need first of all is the link to the product and the review. You can download the reviews manually or extensions. I'm using Helium 10 Review Insight. Show you exactly how to do it. It can analyze thousands of reviews. The prompt. So you just press export over here, and you have it. Okay. So after we have the reviews, this is the prompts that I built and I shared with you in the email. By the way, you also have over there a link to my WhatsApp group that I built for Amazon sellers that love AI. More than welcome to join. It's a quiet group that I share some tips and updates. So this is the prompts. Over here you have all what you need, the links to the tools and how to do it. So I'm just gonna copy the prompt. And the tool we're gonna use today is GenSpark. Whoever don't know it, it's like ChatGPT, but more advanced. You can do multiple tasks in one prompt. It costs $25, but you can also do it for free. The first credits, I highly recommend it. So we're gonna take the prompt from here. We're gonna paste it over here. What we just need to do is to replace the URL in the beginning. And upload the file of the reviews. I also upload a few images of the product that I take from the reviews or the listing. It doesn't matter. It's just to show the tool what is the product. And then we're gonna run it. By the way, GenSpark can do much more stuff for you. It can create sheets for you, and it can even do a reservation for you. It's an amazing tool, but we don't have time to discuss about it. Yeah, I'm gonna do one. So because we don't have time now to wait until the answer, I prepared before in a new tab exactly the same prompt. So let's see the results. You have a full breakdown of product, but it's not fun to read it like this, and you don't have a lot what to do with it. So that's why I have the second prompt to ask him to create it more visual and nice. So we're just gonna go here and paste the second prompt. And now we're gonna build a beautiful presentation. If I have time, I'd like to see it because it's so cool. You can see exactly how I build it. But again, I did it before in a different tab, exactly the same prompt. And you can see the results. By the way, you can edit in the AI slide edit. You can edit it by prompts, but let's view it. Just look how beautiful, like we saw the avatars who purchasing the product. And the reason I chose this product, one second, I want to show again the product. It's saying that it's a bath towel, and they have 3,000 reviews with a lot of sales and 3.8. So, okay, it looks like the customers don't like it a lot. It's 3.8, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to understand why. So if you're gonna go here, I'm gonna show you how it's really easy to understand. Okay, so in this page, we can see what is the hero features. It's a price point. People like it because of the price, because it's multi-purpose and it's quick dry. So over here, we can see what uses people satisfy. So people that using this towel for pet care and for air drying, they have like 85% of them are happy with the product. But look at the last line. A bath use only 15% like the product. And a lot of the sales coming from bath towels that people like. So you can see it also in the last message that he's saying pivot from failed bath towel category to successful utility towel. Then you're gonna make them happy from 15% to 78%. And again, if you're gonna go to the product, you're gonna see that he's mentioning bath towel in the title, and they're not saying anything about pet, like a lot of other users that people really like it. So I think this is the explanation. Like if it was my product, I would change it today to make it more, to talk about the value of the price and not about a best style. So this kind of stuff you can see on every product in the presentation. And I'm going to show you more uses you can do. Just want to say you can export this slide into PowerPoint or PDF. Something cool, if you download it as a PDF, you can just upload the PDF to Canva and then design it by yourself. Yeah, it's cool. So let's go back. So what I'm doing with this analysis, okay, so now I know the product much more. I understood the avatars and what makes them buy and what makes them sell. So first of all, we can do high conversion images. By the way, that's what I'm going to talk in July 20, how to create images with this analysis. We can create, of course, a better copywriting for the product, targeting the selling points. And we can create videos, so targeting the avatar's emotions. And of course, you can improve the product itself before you start your new production, or you can analyze your competition to improve your product before your production. So in July 20 workshop, I'm going to talk about how to create Amazon listing images step by step. So the first step, like we did today, is to analyze the product deeply. Done. But in July 20, we're also going to talk about how to, everything with prompts, and I'm going to show you exactly, you can copy paste and do it by yourself. How to plan every image, avatar and messaging, and then generate with AI tools like ChatGPT and more images, main images and lifestyle images. And then we're going to take these images and add a copy, copyright, and design in Canva. So you're going to have nice images in your listing, but the focus is going to be to improve conversion. And the reason we're all here is to make more sales and to make more money. So that's what we're going to do. So I highly recommend you to take the prompt. You can scan it again if you missed it before. Choose any product that you want. Just copy paste it to GenSpark and see the magic happen. By the way, you can use the first prompt also in ChatGPT and other AI tools, but GenSpark is better. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Jay. That was fantastic. And I can't wait to see everything on the 20th. Okay. Now let's go to Ritu Java. She's our next speaker. And I think she's been using AI before it was cool and long before it was everywhere. She always delivers. She's been on our podcast, both Kevin and my podcast, as well as Marketing Misfit, and she always delivers really cool content. So let's welcome Ritu Java.
Thank you so much, Norm. So happy to be here. So I'm going to share my screen and get started. All right, okay. Sorry. Right over here. Okay. All right, so today I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Like everybody's been talking about the July 20th workshop, and that's going to be the real big workshop with each of us speaking for about an hour, like 55 minutes to an hour. And today we're just going to share a few tips from what's going to lead to that 20th July presentation. So my topic is going to be 10 plays from the efficiency playbook. This is all about automations, shortcuts, and systems that help you buy back your time. And in the beginning, Kevin was talking about where AI is headed and how 20-member teams might, be replaced with just 2-member teams who know how to use AI and who know how to set up systems that can be highly efficient. So my talk is along those lines. It can help you, for those of you who have teams, it can help you get a lot more out of your team. And if you're growing and scaling, you probably won't need to hire as many people going forward because you'll have systems and you'll have efficient ways of using AI as your endless employees. So the concept of endless employees is basically just knowing how to set up things. And I'm not just talking about agentic stuff. I'm also talking about those interactions with AI that do require a human, right? So a lot of times we trust our own judgment, and we know the business case and the larger context of our business better than anybody else. But yet, when we're chatting with AI or we're trying to, figure out how to get the most out of it, we often fall short because a lot of the stuff that comes out may be garbage, or we just don't know how to prompt it and stuff like that. So anyway, so I'm going to be talking about how to improve the efficiency, because I do believe that efficiency can be engineered. And there's a bunch of ways that I've been doing it at my agency, PPC Ninja. And these are the kind of the everyday things that help us, save a lot of time from all the operations that we do internally. And today I'm going to share just a few, just like a sneak peek into what productivity acceleration plays we have, installed in our agency. So the first one that I want to share today is called the AI shorthand code. So what is a shorthand? Just to give you some background about shorthands, for those of you who are too young to know what shorthand is, shorthand used to be this way pre-laptop era when people could give their note takers a way to kind of quickly summarize or write very quickly as they were dictating, right? This was the kind of secret language between, an office and their note takers. And this shorthand way can be actually replicated with AI, because with your LLMs, you don't always have to explain everything about what you want. You can develop like a very shorthand way, especially for those operations that you repeat over and over again. So if you spot a pattern in the way you're talking to your AI where you have to repeat the same thing over and over again, there's a few different ways to do it, right? There's one way, which is like set up a GPT, and now it's going to be predictable every time you want to, make it do certain things, take some actions, you set up a GPT. That's fine. But you don't always want to keep going to a GPT. It's a few extra steps. You have to find it, you have to go there, etc. You might bookmark it, but yeah, you get the idea. It's not always GPT worthy to make AI do a little bit more than, having to explain yourself every single time. So I want to give you some examples of how I have devised shorthand code that I use to talk to my GPT, to my LLM. And this is something that you can also do. So here's an example of, just a simple prompt that I need some kind of output from my LLM. Okay, so it's giving me a post for Prime Day that I might use for LinkedIn. Now, if you notice that ChatGPT's output always has these weird long dashes, right? And it's so annoying because it's a dead giveaway. Like if you're creating LinkedIn posts with like long dashes and certain styles of talking, it knows, like people know that this is generated by AI and it's not really cool. So you want to bring your own kind of flavor into it. So I have kind of trained it to remove all of this, and there's one word that I use, it's Nindash. Okay, now this is a gobbledygook word. It won't make sense to anybody else except me. I know because I start all my shortcuts with NIN, because NIN is ninja. So I just make it such that this doesn't get mixed up with any normal English words. And it's a unique word that only I know and, the LLM knows. So when I say Nindash, it knows exactly what to do. So it says, here's the Nindash version. So what I'm asking it to do essentially is to clean up, remove all the long dashes and do certain other things. So here it is. Now it's done that whole cleanup very quickly. And all I needed to say was Nindash. Now you might say, hey, why don't you just put it in the custom instructions or whatever? Unfortunately, it doesn't always listen. So you have to do like this repetitive, annoying thing of saying, no, this is not what I meant. I meant do this. So come up with your own kind of shorthand that you can train it, and I'll show you how to do it. Here's another example, often used by me and my agency. I have a long list of keywords and I want it to convert into broad match modifier. All I need to say is my code word, which is BMM. That's it. All I need to say is that, and it knows exactly what to do. So these are shorthand ways of getting the LLM to do stuff faster. Like you don't even need to think, just type the shortcut and you're done. Okay, I'm going to give you one more example, which is a different one. So bonus time. Another example of how you can improve efficiency within your organization is to create little pieces of code that can be served up in your browser. So here's an example of that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So here's an example. So here's a little thing that I want my browser to do, which is essentially I wanted to use some keywords or seed keywords, and I can make as many as I like wristwatch, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm putting some long list of things, and I just say okay, and now it's doing the work for me. It's just operating the browser on my behalf, and now it's basically generating the autocomplete list, and it's capturing all of that here in the browser itself, right? So now I know that a lot of people have subscribed to expensive tools like, things that basically read your browser and do stuff for you, but this is free. This is something you can DIY yourself. And at the end of it, you just have to copy to clipboard and you're done. So I think I'm going to stop here because we want to keep some stuff for the event on July 20th. So I guess if you can see my screen, basically I will be sharing the full list of efficiency playbook plays that we use within our agency and I use regularly. And I will be actually giving you 11, not 10, because I already shared the first one. So with that, I will hand it back to Norm.
You always come up with something new. Thank you. All right, Ritu, thank you so much. Our next presenter, I saw her way back, I think during SellerCon in 2017. She's one of those rare marketers who actually tests things before she talks, and the results speak for themselves. So welcome to, I guess we can call it the stage, Cherie Yvette. How's it going?
So good. It is great to see everybody. Hopefully there's people here in this session that I haven't seen for a while. Like Norm said, I am Cherie Yvette, otherwise known as the Urban Cowgirl. I've been in advertising for about 25 years. I'm 54 this year, kind of gives my age away. And I got started in the beta years of Google Ads, and then I got started very early in Amazon Ads. And I believe in competitive advantage, and I always focus on strategy. I believe you need technology as a competitive advantage, and I've never seen entering into markets where, for example, Amazon advertising right now, where there's just far too many competitors in a space in an auction-based system. I believe if you don't have a technology advantage, it's very hard to compete on the internet, especially today, because the internet is so scaled. So I totally with Kevin on this, that AI is game-changing. And what I'm going to share today, and on the 20th, I'm going to share with you how to build a perfect contextual keyword list for both your listings and your ad campaigns. And what we're also going to talk about is going in today. I'm going to show you in a demo, not in slides. I'll bring some slides to the 20th, but today I have 5 minutes. So let's make sure we just get right into the action. But what I'm going to share today is not about prompting. It's about building business context into the back end of the big frontier AI models. So when I say frontier AI, I'm referencing ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. I use Gemini, but I use Gemini in Perplexity, so I get the best of both. So the reason frontier AI models are so powerful, similar to advertising in the early years, is the fact that you're coming in to a place where the best teams are in these frontier models. Like nobody's going to have an engineer like OpenAI. Nobody's going to have the funding like Perplexity or Claude. So you're coming into like 30 years of internet pipeline built, and then you have these massive founders like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and Google. Sergey Brin, he's back at Google because of AI. basically they are dumping all of their money that they have made in advertising with a 30-year pipeline into these models. And about 50% of venture capital right now is in these models. So when you look at intelligence and you're building your business, you want to be using these subsidized models, because just like advertising 10 years ago on Amazon, it won't always be subsidized. So we really want to take advantage of the intelligence they can bring to our business. So the one thing I want to clarify is that you can bring all the intelligence to the models you need about your Amazon business just by focusing in on your Amazon native files. So today I'm going to show you 2 files and how they've been labeled. The keyword here to take away is labeled. How I've labeled this data to train the models so it knows a lot more about my business. Normally when I'm doing this, I'm going to build a combination of market intelligence and then my business intelligence, advertising data, business reports, etc. Definitely search query performance at the ASIN level. But today we're just going to look at market intelligence and understand how we could build that perfect list. And also we can speak to all the problems that you're having showing up right here in the data in both your ad campaigns and just the overall Amazon market. So this is a brand analytics table, and I'm promoting a coffee bean product, and I have tagged all the brand analytics records with the main seed query, which kind of identifies where I'm headed, where the data came from. And then I have tagged everything that is a branded search term with a check mark, and then tagged the brand name. Then I've gone ahead and I've tagged all the customer needs from these queries. And then I've tagged everything that is not relevant for my particular product is not relevant. So you can see why if you're having trouble with your ad campaigns, Claude's going to do the analysis. He's the best strategist. I use all 3 models. I use Perplexity for market intelligence, and then I'll use ChatGPT for just pure data analysis. So when you look at taking this brand analytics report, we'll show you, I'll walk you through what Claude would see in this data, because it's very different when he's trained on that. So we're going to look at a few things. We've put the brand analytics data together. Then we've gone in and compiled the top search results from our keywords, which would just be like a helium 10 scraper, jungle scout, data dive, they all do it. And then from there, that shows us where the titles are, gives us the understanding of where they rank, their pricing, how much revenue they're driving. It gives the model all that context. The brand analytics is going to tell the model search frequency, how much demand is in that keyword, the top brands for that keyword, and of course, conversion and click share rates, which we want to model for our own listings. And definitely, if you're spending money on a keyword, say for example, coffee pods, you should optimize the entire funnel around that word because it costs a fortune today. The other part about training the model is to make sure that you show the model on the back end through either a project or Perplexity, it's a space, and ChatGPT, it's going to be also a project. You want to be sure that you're telling the model what these columns represent, a basic description of the data. These are the columns of brand analytics, and then how we use it in analysis. I kept this very short so you guys could kind of see it, but just know that the how to use an analysis when we build it on the 20th is quite a bit deeper than what you're seeing here. So I've shown him exactly, okay, how do you identify? I've shown the models, okay, how do you use a search results? What are these labels? What are these columns? And then I've provided really specific labels to each of the data sets so the model is ready to kind of dive into my data. So now let's move over with this data already loaded into a file, and let's do a quick example. I prompted all this up for you guys, which I'll do live for you in the 20th, but I wanted to prompt it up ahead of time so you can understand what Claude can pull when he has that much context on a product. So now I come in and he's going to analyze 2 things when we talk about the perfect keyword list. Claude is going to analyze, okay, supply and demand, the keywords that are relevant to my product, which is not all of them. I think it's important if you're doing Amazon today that you understand how hard this is when it comes to a particular keyword set. If you're looking at this, you can see the level of keywords that are branded. And then if you look at all the different customer needs, it's definitely become the everything store. I mean, they want pods, they want mushroom, they want beans, they want K-cup. All the brand demand is huge. And if you filter this list down to where there's no brand, search name in the keyword and there's no customer need, you get to the shortest list ever. And it's highly unlikely that your product is going to meet all these needs. It's unlikely that you have a K-cup and a bean, and it's unlikely that you have mushrooms. It's very unlikely that you have a decaf if you're highly caffeinated, like Client Death Wish coffee. If you're, coming in and you can see that these are just so different, right? It's highly, you might not be organic. You definitely, the flavored alone is so intense, right? They've got pumpkin spice, they've got French vanilla, they've got, everything under the sun. And then it starts to talk about variety packs. Is it dark roast? Is it light roast? Is it medium roast? Is it no roast? Is it green? So when you break these keywords down and then you're going out in your ad campaign and you're bidding on, I completely agree with Kevin, the digital shelf is dead because of this. We can just assume that the creator economy and influencers have just completely destroyed what was for 25 years performance marketing, because they're coming in, maybe they saw something on TikTok and they want a weight loss green bean, and that's going to just drive the search demand up. It changes constantly. Maybe Rise is pushing into a multi-channel marketing strategy, which they obviously are, because they completely swallowed Four Sigmatic almost like overnight. So when you're looking at this, it gives you a good understanding of like what's really available in the market. So now when you take this into a model like Claude and have him analyze this, one thing I have him look at is just, okay, the available keywords versus the titles on page 1. Where is it either going to be oversaturated, moderately saturated? What percentage of titles are using these keywords? Which of these keywords that define my product are actually driving demand based on search frequency? And then Claude breaks all that down for me. And he tells me to stay away from whole bean. It's oversaturated. So this goes back to what everybody's telling you about Rufus. This is why, if we look at this seed keyword list, why training and writing your detail pages on the right features is so important. Because at the end of the day, Rufus is looking, he's got all these things that the customer needs, and he's looking through your detail page very quickly. Think about 10 seconds, 3 seconds to try to understand which pieces of this you have. So in the old days, you might have keyword stuffed your title with like whole bean, but that probably wouldn't tell Rufus very much, considering 86% of the titles on page 1 have that keyword. Okay, so you think it's a good keyword because it's high volume, but then you got to ask yourself this next thing that we did in an artifact. So what we're going to do on the 20th is I'm going to walk you through the way I've discussed this data with Claude. But what I want to really convey in this is it's not about prompting. Basically, you see the data, like here we are looking at it, and we have questions. And we're just going to ask Claude our questions. We're not going to rocket science it because he already knows what we're talking about. So coming in here, now we come into what I think is the best. I love supply and demand. Again, I think technology is a competitive advantage, or it's not. So if we look at supply and demand, okay, the supply and demand in the coffee bean market is, once you subtract all the branded search, it's only 57%. So if you're trying to sell a whole bean coffee, only 57% of the market is even available to you based on what's already like implied to other brands. And then we break it down even further by what's not relevant to us. And that takes another 19% off of the market. So now a market, and you could look at this data, which isn't tagged, and you could say, boy, coffee beans is hot, hot, hot. And you could advertise on coffee beans, but you can know that the consumers are probably 50% not looking for what you're selling on coffee beans. So if you have trouble on the digital shelf buying that keyword, it's because 50% of those searches, or the implied demand in the shopper's mind, is not related to your product. So understanding those dynamics at a keyword level can help you sort of select the right keywords for your product, and understanding which keywords are actually, and by training the model on which of these keywords actually matters to you, then the model starts to understand simple things. Like now the model already knows my competitors and how much market share they have. Not too hard, right? So at this point, your model will know everything about your entire market. It'll know everything about your data as well. So it'll know about your advertising campaigns. It'll know about search query ASIN reports. So when you put all that in, you're really talking to a super strategic partner. And then normally I will prompt dust, just meaning I'll take the same prompts across multiple models, and then I use the models for distinct strengths. So when I go into Perplexity, I'm asking Perplexity to go out into the market. And one thing I love that Perplexity will do is this. I ask it a lot of the questions on the same data sets, but what I ask Perplexity to do is go to the market and tell me how people describe their favorite coffee beans. So now when I'm writing a detail page or writing an ad, I am the queen of a 50-character ad, I must tell you. So when I'm writing an ad, I'm able to go in. Well, I'm not probably the queen because there's many other queens on this call, but I'm like one of many queens that writes ads. So when I'm building that out, you're going to see like, this is what the consumer, the shopper actually says. And exactly like earlier strategies in this call, I also weight mine by percentages and hierarchies to keep that 3 to 10 second conversion. But you're going to see they say, oh, grinding my own beans gives me the freshest cup. I love being able to adjust the grind size for my espresso machine. And so when you start to write your detail pages around the popular language, you get fantastic conversion rates, and you also get a much more natural language that speaks to AI models like Rufus or Cosmo or anybody else who is. Amazon is heavily invested in Claude. Obviously, they have their own models too, like Nova. But when you're writing with these models as like the foundation, and you're selecting keywords from these models, you get a real advantage. And so I did a little prompt testing on ChatGPT, and you see exactly what it does. It goes right into the data and starts building me tables. Perplexity went out and got me like really good language from the market, which is what I train it to do. And then Claude just does the whole strategy. He just tells me everything. But again, he's only telling me because he's reading the data and he knows exactly what that data means and how to analyze it. I think that's it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so I don't take up too much time.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And the last speaker. So he's been pushing boundaries of of automation and AI, and he's here to show you a little how. So, Andrew, are you around?
I'm here, Norm.
Oh, okay. Now, you know what?
Awesome.
You're the first person I ever played Santa Claus for.
Yes. Awesome. Yes. Norm came to my house a couple of years ago and played Santa for my daughter. So I'm always indebted to you, Norm, and my daughter still talks very fondly of you. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna go super quick. I put my Amazon jungle jacket on because that's what we're doing, Amazon stuff, right? I'm going to share my screen and show the stuff that I'm talking about. And one thing that I wanted to do is bring something new. Hopefully, it's a concept, new framework. And I really wanted to compliment everyone here because they are both compliment in terms of like a good comment on them, and compliment meaning to partner with them very well, because Sherry, the stuff that you shared is perfect for what I'm talking about, Ritu as well, and everyone else, because I figured you guys would have awesome stuff like that. And I figured, let me show you guys a way to smash it all together in this awesome concept that I started doing that I'm calling the AI review loop. And so we're using AI agents to generate, judge, and refine the best content. And so that's by me. So what the AI loop is using AI agents to generate and judge and refine to create the best content, create content that converts without doing it all yourself. I want to build a big system and process that does it all for me, right? Because I'm ambitiously lazy. I want to set up everything so that I don't have to work so hard, right? So I'm ambitiously lazy. I'm also founder of a bunch of Amazon brands. I think you guys are, I can go through this quickly. Coach inside the Titan Network, studied engineering, and I have designed and launched over 100 physical products on Amazon. And so I have both a technical background and, of course, an Amazon background. Okay, let's get into a little bit of meat here. And of course, this is all teaser stuff. I'm hoping to give you like a little bit of a framework, something useful here, just because we're doing a quick teaser, and then we'll, of course, go into the full course in a few weeks. So the problem is that most AI content falls flat, and it's just kind of lame. It just doesn't sound that good. It sounds like somebody put one quick prompt into ChatGPT and copy pasted out, right? Most of it sucks. And so it really is generic. It lacks differentiation. It's like a one shot thing, right? No editing feedback. And so the one thing I want to do here is tell you guys the one AI prompt always gives you a mediocre answer when we're talking about content creation. Right now, of course, I use it all the time, for my own personal information. But when I'm creating professional content, it's always mediocre at best if you do the one shot thing. So great content isn't written, it's refined. Even experts do this. And what we want to do is we don't want to just generate the content. We also want to iterate. We want to create a lot of content and then figure out how to refine that content down. Of course, it takes a long time to do that. So that's why I built this cool system that helps you do it. And that system is the AI review loop. Okay. And so there's this concept when we talk about creativity, talk about creating new things, creating new products, creating new copy, creating new marketing campaigns. There are certain frameworks that we can do to be more creative. One of them is this idea of divergent thinking. Take the guardrails off and get really crazy and put out a lot of stuff, like also called brainstorming, but divergent sounds cooler than brainstorming, right? Divergent, and you want to go into convergent thinking, meaning we want to hone that stuff down and find the gold and find the diamond in the rough, right? And so that's why we can create AIs that create content and then judge that content and then reiterate on that content just to find the best stuff there is, right? And so again, there's a lot in this, and that's why I have a whole hour, 30 to 60 minutes to talk about this in a few weeks. But here's one example of a content loop, of an AI review loop for email, because email is the kind of the easiest one because it's text, right? Here's my framework for that. So we have a brainstorm agent that generates a bunch of ideas. We have an idea judge that judges those ideas and picks the best idea. We then have a writing agent that then writes many emails on that idea, that concept. And then another judge that judges those emails. And then we can even do all sorts of fun multimedia stuff with video and images and all sorts of other stuff. But in this case, I just have one stock image agent that creates a stock image, and then an image picker that helps me, generate that content, and it just shows me the top level stuff. And so what I'm left with is one or two emails with one or two images that are the best because we have all these awesome judges in the loop. And here's what it looks like. And again, I don't want to scare people with like a whole bunch of like razzy pizzazzy stuff, but this is what it looks like. We're going to make it really easy and really approachable in that workshop. So you can see here how it goes through a brainstorming agent, goes into an evaluating judge, a content judge, then a writing agent, and then it chooses the best email, right? And this is just a really quick example of that. And the cool thing is, so here's an example kind of zooming in on what each one of these agents looks like. The awesome thing is that all the stuff that all these other smart people told you about, we can smash all that stuff together into an agent. So if you use Ritu's technique or Sherry's technique and put in that SEO content, the keywords here, you can put all that into your writing agent so that you have all that awesome content in there together. And then I want to go quick just so I don't, so we can get to the awesome content at the end here. But we're going to make this really easy. In the meantime, you can just, before we start getting into automation stuff, you can do this whole process just by opening several windows of different AI. So you can literally just have like 4 windows open, one for the content idea maker, one for the idea judge, one for the content writer, and one for the email judge, right? So that 1, 2, 3, 4, that works pretty well. And just copy paste back and forth. And it's a little manual, but we're going to get that super duper automated during the workshop. And so tips for success, your content agent should have a clear brand voice. Give it a lot of content, previous emails, previous products and stuff like that, or current products. And also I found that shorter prompts are better, like lots of context, little prompt actually works the best for content. And then the judges, we want to make sure we have a clear avatar who's our buyer. And then again, we'll start with that idea, the divergent thinking down into the convergent thinking. So generate a long list of ideas and then judge those. And then at the end, you will have a great piece of content. So what to expect at the webinar in a few weeks on July 20th is easy to use AI agents, expert frameworks, prompt frameworks the best AI models for every single part, because just like everyone else alluded to, Claude is better at writing, ChatGPT is better at general AI stuff, Grok is better at analysis, Perplexity is better at web stuff. We go through that whole thing, and I'm going to share all these content workflows, product promotion emails, weekly newsletters, automated blogs, social media automation, and copy that you can A/B test. That's it. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a QR code if you want to follow me. And thank you so much, Norm and Kevin. I'm so excited for this webinar.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, where is my buddy? He's
Right
around.
here. I'm right here getting it set up. Let's see.
There we go. Pretty cool stuff, huh?
Pretty cool stuff, huh? Yeah, I think that was a lot. I mean, I saw
Yeah.
someone post like, "Hey, this is overwhelming. This is too much." But you don't need to do all this stuff. You just can pick one or two that are going to move the needle and hone in on that. So some people were asking, on what are the times for when we do the workshop. I'm about to get into that here in just a second, and we'll do a little bit more. But just I know you guys now are ready to join the ranks, these next generation e-commerce owners, just by implementing a couple of the things. Not trying to do everything that you just saw, but just a couple minutes. And they're going to take you step by step by step, the prompts, the downloadable documents, the SOPs, everything. We can't do that right now in 5 minutes because it's not enough time. So you're going to get everything that they just showed and even more. And remember, all you need to be is you don't have to be an expert. You just need to be one step ahead of your competitors in this rapidly changing world, and you will be by implementing just one or two of these things that we've gone over today and that you'll learn in the workshop. You'll be way ahead and have a massive advantage over them. It's going to be on July 20th, which is a Sunday. So it's a Sunday. We're doing it on a Sunday, so people don't have if you got another job or you got something else, you can do it. It's on a Sunday. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll take a little break in there, but the order of the speakers is the same order that they spoke today. So you remember Joanna went first at 11. Went first today, so she'll be speaking at 11. And then I know Dan, some people were asking about Dan. Dan will be speaking at 2. At 2. And then Andrew will be speaking at 6. For example, we'll put the whole list out there, but that'll be the same order that they went in today, and each one will have about an hour to go deep, deep, deep with complete notes and everything for you. There will be a replay, so if the 20th you got something else going on, or you can only come half of that time, that's okay. There will be a replay. The only one that will have a few things taken away is Dan's. Dan's going to share some just ridiculous stuff. And he doesn't want, what happens sometimes is people screenshot the replay or they download it and it gets spread out over the entire internet. And he doesn't want everybody to have those links to that stuff or have those documents or something he shows on screen. So the people that are live will have that. His talk will still be recorded and it'll still be in the replay, but there'll be a couple links that won't work on it, and we'll talk about that here in the Q&A in just a second. There may be a workaround for some of you guys. They're like, well, I'm not interested in. We'll talk about that here in a second. But just to remind you, Joe's going to talk about Rufus Mastery, super advanced techniques for optimizing Rufus. She's going to talk about image mastery. She's going to take it another level and talk about how to actually make sure that your images are dialed in based on what Rufus is reading images now. She's going to talk about SEO mastery, how to get the search GPTs to actually recommend you. She's going to show you exactly how to actually get them to recommend your brand, to either go buy it on Amazon or buy it on your direct DTC site or Walmart or wherever you're selling it. She's going to show you that. Then Juana's going to show you that Rice-powered prioritization engine. She's going to go into detail on each one of those and how to actually set those up for that optimization. She's going to show you how to pinpoint exactly which features you need to focus to seduce the AI and the algorithm and your customers, all three of those, to talk to all three of those. And then Abdul is going to show you all those no-code tools that he kind of went through really quick, all the AI agents and automations on N8N to solve all those tasks. He's going to show you that, give you all these tools, a review analyzer bot for product development, on N8N, on the optimization, all the stuff that he showed you, and using the Amazon AI Creative Studio. He's going to actually give you all that and walk you through it. And then you have Dan. This guy is like, this is the one of anything. You got to be there at 2:00 to make sure you see Dan's, like someone said at Elevate 360 in Iceland. He blew people away. People like experienced people were like, holy shit. So he's going to be showing you some really good tips and tricks and hacks that actually move the needle. What's working now in the world of LLMs and all the business processes and automation is going to give you the whole prompts and everything. And you're going to have it all. So you can just go and implement this stuff yourself. You'll be on the bleeding edge. Trust me. Dan is on the bleeding edge. He knows his stuff. You're going to have Jay. It's going to show you how that one AI prompt can turn all your reviews into a clear structured map, which was really cool. I saw a lot of really good comments on that to get all those purchase drivers. He's also going to show you how to utilize that. And once you've created that, to then create the powerful images and video and stuff that's going to just convert like crazy. And then Ritu's got the shortcuts. She's got 10 of them. She said she has 11 now because she shared one today, so she's not going to repeat that. But she's going to share 10 of them with you from her efficiency playbook just to make you more efficient. And maybe you can actually not need to hire some people or even perhaps get rid of some weak links in your team. She's also going to show you how efficient people buy back their time and work smarter with better workflows and the tools. And she's got Ritu always has a little magic. She's always got a little magic to sprinkle on top, a little pixie dust that is always cool. So you don't want to miss that. And then Cherie's going to show the new skill in AI that's better than that isn't better than prompts. It's context engineering. She shows you context engineering. And some of what she's going to go deep into that context engineering, which was amazing analysis, amazing stuff. You're going to learn how to train all the AI models to do all to with your Amazon data to just hone this stuff in, and so that they are going to start recommending you for all kinds of use cases without even increasing your ad spend. And then Andrew is going to show you all this badass email and blog content generation systems and all the ways you can use what he just showed you with newsletters and all kinds of stuff, and you can plug it in right away and use it. So that's what's happening on the 20th. You can get all this for just $299. So you get the entire day. You can log in out as once. You get the replay. You get the PDFs of any of the presentations. You get all of that for $299. It's happening all day on July 20th. All day on Sunday, July 20th. Like I said, from 11 a.m. Eastern time, which is New York time, to 8 p.m. The recordings and replays are included. So if you can't make it at all, or if you can only make part of it, you will get the recordings and the replays, as well as any PDFs or any links that are shared, except for those couple from Dan. And those are the only ones that we have to take out just because we can't have them on thousands of websites and stuff out there. This is high-level training. So if you're looking for basic how to use ChatGPT, this isn't for you. If you have a little bit of dabbling or you kind of get this stuff, this is for you. If you're ready to build automated systems that scale your business while you sleep and be not just one step ahead, but 10 steps ahead of your competition, then this is for you. So I recommend you lock in your spot right now. Again, it's just $299. It's all day on July 20th.